Today, guys, we are kicking off our segment, Social Media Uncensored. And today we're tackling the topic at the forefront of social media discourse, the cancel culture. Stitches, have you heard about this?
Yes, Terry, cancel culture has really become a significant phenomenon in our digital age where pretty much public opinion and social media can swiftly amplify and condemn individuals and institutions. So you're pretty much guilty before proven innocent or anything like that. It raises fundamental questions about justice, accountability, and the power of collective voices. So, and like we said, accountability as well. So how does this affect livelihoods and mental health and truly personal relationships? And what are the broader implications of our culture and social media fabrics? It's a lot to delve into.
It's a lot, and these are vital questions that demand like thoughtful exploration. Like this cancel culture can sometimes blur the lines between accountability and being in judgment, and just challenge us to strike a balance between holding individuals responsible for their actions and also allowing room for education, reconciliation. So, what are your thoughts, Miss Stitches, on canceling? Like canceling, first of all, that's a rough term. Like canceling people, right? Like that's harsh. What are your thoughts about this in general?
Yeah, for sure. And I know I got to go back to it because I am not God, so I can't really cancel anybody, to be honest with you. But
come on, somebody.
I will say accountability, I think, is the more appropriate word, where you can bring light to someone who's probably, I guess, for lack of better terms, gaslighting folks and just putting out information and it's not true. And or bringing light to a situation or somebody that has been just flat out telling lies and leading people the wrong way or just not being truthful, which is telling lies. So I think cancel culture, I'm not for it, to be quite honest with you. I think I'll sway more on the side of what you said, kind of showing a bit more grace, but accountability, I think it is important, because if you're out here thinking you could say, which people do, you can say and do anything you want to, and nobody's going to call you on it or catch you on it, then every single person will be saying any and everything that they want to. And people do it now to a degree, but I think we have a bit more, what's the word? Hold on a minute moment.
Absolutely. And
what would you say?
I love what you said about accountability, because I think that we have to be cognizant about somebody just being blatantly a liar and being malicious, and
Right.
people who have made bad decisions, used poor judgment, made some mistakes. I mean, if we're completely honest, we all may have had moments in our lives where we didn't make the best decisions, where there's something that we're not really proud of. And so I think that we have to remember that these are people, and that, perception is not always reality. So one thing about everybody having a phone all day long is when something is caught on camera, that's a different story, right? We talked about Diddy a couple episodes ago and things were caught on camera. So that's about accountability, and just everything that happens in the dark comes in the light. Let's just be honest, right? But just being really cognizant and aware of, transparency, accountability, malicious intent, and just people have maybe made some bad decisions, learned their lesson, and then moved on. And so I think it's crucial for us to consider the human aspect behind the headlines, right? And because behind every canceled figure is a person who is facing public scrutiny, negative reputational damage, and potentially kind of grappling with the consequences for years to come. We even had guests that have talked about like mental health and, just what this does to you long term. And so how should we approach these situations, with empathy, with fairness, even when an influencer or celebrities mess up, from Diddy to everybody else, how do you think we should kind of handle this, Stitches?
I think one thing for sure is, first, let's find out if it's true or not.
look, that part.
Yeah. I talk about mental health a lot of times because I've known some folks who have been in the spotlight and well known, but what came out was actually a lie. So they're faced with trying to rebuild and reconstruct and redirect themselves and their image and their character, because a lie was perpetuated, if you will. So I think the first step is one, before we go ahead and perpetuate something, let's make sure that it's not a lie that we're perpetuating, because we can further dig somebody in a hole that don't even need to be in there.
Yeah, it's the truth. The blessing and the curse with, freedom of speech and just our platforms is that anybody can get on here and say anything. So I think that as a society, we have to just be more responsible about not passing judgment without getting as many of the facts as we can. Look, come on, somebody.
Agreed, Terry. I'm loving this conversation, Terry. So don't move, Connect fam, because we've got so much more coming up for you this Saturday. Stay close, because coming up next, we are introducing you to Squad Only, your new favorite podcast, founded by the incredible Stephanie Griffin and Aja Carter. Yes, honey, it's a whole lot of Black men. All up next. Stay tuned. We'll be back.